or study visa application. This video, I'm going to be talking about why your study permit or study visa might be denied. Some mistakes that could result to you being rejected, that could result to your application being rejected, or you having that visa application denied, study visa, Canada study visa application denied. We're going to dive right into that. But before I go ahead, I need you to know that my name is Manaria Canada. Yes, I am Manaria Canada. I love to research about immigration to Canada, US, UK, and subsequently other countries. I upload videos at least once a week. Sometimes I upload more than once a week. I would appreciate if you can subscribe to my channel. When you subscribe to this channel, you will have the opportunity to have latest information whenever they are out there for the public. You're going to learn how to do some of these immigration stuff yourself and have your aim achieved. And of course, save funding. This channel is basically do-it-yourself channel, where I teach you everything that you need to know and equip you with all the information that you need before you go all right there to start your journey to Canada and subsequently other countries. Please remember to share my videos. I know that so many people need this information. They probably don't know how to get that. So when you share my video, you're probably going to be helping someone out there. And tomorrow, someone is going to come out and say that the video you shared on the WhatsApp group, Facebook, and other social media websites or social media platforms rather has helped the person to be in Canada. And you'll be helping someone. Please feel free to comment, and whatever comments or concerns you have, I might have to make a video regarding that. Please like and click on that notification bell so that each time I upload new videos, you'll be the first to know. Remember, when it comes to this Canada stuff, it's about first come, first serve. So when you have that first-hand information in real time, you'll be able to act fast on it. Thank you so much for joining today. So on this video, in this video, we're going to be talking about why study permit, why your Canada study visa or permit might be denied. Come with me, let's see. So we have few reasons that your Canada study application might be denied. And I'm going to be talking about these reasons and explaining in details each and every of those reasons. And trust me, when you avoid these mistakes and putting your application in the right way, I am very positive that you will see something different. Let's go right in that. So the first one is document. Let's talk about document. I had a video where I explained explicitly about the documents that you need for your Canada visa application, study permit or study visa application. But in that video, I'm going to link that video to this one so that if you haven't seen that video, you need to see it so you know the documents you need. So coming to that, I need to talk more about the documents. You need to know first that when you are uploading documents, your document should be as a story. Remember that the people handling this application are also human beings that are going to open all these documents and upload it, even though there are some parts that computer does, but then human being aspect of it, you need to make the work easier for the person handling it. These people are handling lots of thousands of applications and you don't want to put in that. Imagine uploading a document that doesn't have a name, that doesn't have a title. You just uploading document 0.00 or document 1. How are they going to know what you're uploading? How are they going to know what this document is? Okay, so it's very important that when you are uploading that document, you name the document. If the document is proof of fund, name the document as proof of fund. Okay, so you need to arrange your document according to their names, according to what they serve. Okay, and then upload them in the right, if we have a video where I showed you how you can make how you can do or put in that Canada study permit application by yourself. Okay, when you watch that video, you will see that there are spaces or there are places where they designated for each of those documents that you will upload. You make sure that you're uploading each document where it should be. Either you label the document by the name proof of fund, or you label, if it's a form that you filled, you can label it by the name I am IMM0, depending on the name of the document, but please make sure that your document has a name to it. Okay, so and then when you want to talk about this document, you also want to be sure that all the necessary documents are uploaded and in the right manner, like I explained. Okay, so this is regarding the documents. Please, I'm not going to talk more further on the document because I've already made a video about documents needed, and I believe I explained that too. So the next one is your ties to home country. Now, when you want to talk about ties to home country, imagine that Canada, yeah, they are looking for people, but they also want to know, they also want to be sure that when you're coming to Canada, you want to go back to your country at the end of your studies. If you want to be in good terms with the government of Canada, you need to obey rules. If the rule says, when you come and study, after studies, you go back to your country, you need to obey the rules. You need to be able to do that, because if you don't obey the rules, you will run in trouble. You need to do that. You need to also show the officer that you have proof to your home country. Now, when we want to talk about proof, what you can use as proof to your home country, it could be properties. If you are coming, let's say, as a mature student, okay, you've owned your own properties or you've had your own business or something, you're expected to upload those properties you've got. But if you're coming as an undergraduate, of course, you're still, you're just fresh out from secondary school. No one is expecting you to have properties or whatever. But yeah, if your parents or your sponsor has got properties, you're expected to upload that. Okay, so it could be landed properties. It could be business certificate of incorporation of your business. It could be, building. It could be car. It could be like all the properties that you have. It might sound funny, but it's okay. Upload all of them. Now, some people might be like, okay, what if I don't even have properties? Okay, what if I've not bought a property and I have a job? Awesome. It's okay. You must not have properties. Some people don't believe in property, but I know that some people still do maybe investment, like they give some people money to trade or run business for them, and then give them proof of return of investment, ROI. You can also use that one. You can also meet those people to give you certificate that shows that you've had social amount of investment with that company. That's another option. Another option is if you don't have investment, you do not have properties, what you want to do is, if you have a job, if you have a business, you can as well present your business, the CFO, picture of your business, evidence that you have that business, you have the goods and all of that. You get the pictures, okay? And then if you do not have business, probably you're a civil servant or you're public servant. What you want to do as your ties is that, okay, you let your company get you a letter that says that you are working in so and so company, and that you are of good standing, and that you're expected to go and study, and by the time you're back from studies, that they are more than happy to welcome you and even perhaps give you a promotion, that is commensurate with what you've studied, okay? Or that they are able to hire you, or that your position is out there, is there waiting for you, that once you're back, you are free to come back and work for them. These are ties. These are evidences that show that you are going to come back to your home country. Okay, so that is it regarding ties to home country. So the next one is that can make you to be make your application to be rejected is low proof of funds. Okay, so you are expected to have when you want to talk about the proof of funds, okay, you're expected to have, for you that you're coming to study, you're expected to have at least 10,000 Canadian dollars in your account. That is minus your living expenses, minus, okay, you must have paid your tuition, right? And then you've removed the expenses. You're expected to have this amount of money in your account if you're going alone. If you're going with family member, the first family member, you're expected to have extra 4,000 Canadian dollars. That's 14,000, isn't it? If you're going with another family member, that's the second family member, 3,000 per subsequent family members that you're going with. So if you're going with maybe 3 family members and yourself, that is 10,000 plus 4,000, that's 14,000. And then plus another family member, that's 17, plus another family member, that's 20,000 Canadian dollars. That's if you're going with maybe yourself and 3 other kids. Okay, but if you're going alone, if you have 10,000 Canadian dollars in your account, you're okay. That's after you've made the payments, like I said. Now, let's talk about proof of funds. So when you have the proof of funds, let's say some people, when they're talking about proof of funds, they just look at the number that is the figure. Maybe someone just, the figure that is in your proof of fund, you have it like 40 million in your proof of fund, and you're looking at that. That's not what it should be. You need to explain if there are lump sums that came into your proof of funds, the statement of account, right? You need to explain that. Let's say you want to travel and you sold your land, or your family sold your land. You need to provide evidence that you sold this land. You need to provide a receipt of selling this land. If you sold your property, if you sold your car, if you sold your vehicle or car, assume, if you sold your store, your shop, if you sold something, and that reflected in your proof of fund statement of account, you need to explain. You don't expect them to figure out why all of a sudden you've been having 20,000 or 10,000 come into your account, and all of a sudden 40 million came into that account. You need to explain. These are human beings. They also need to understand it's different from other countries where they need you to come and stand and defend yourself, like US and other. But for Canada, you're not standing there. Your documents are speaking for you. If you don't do the proper explanation in your document, it's gonna get the officer worked up. They won't understand you. Your application has to be like a story. It has to be like I always tell people, your application has to be like a book. They need to follow through what you're saying, what you're doing, you put that in writing. They are reading it. Trust me, they read all those. If you had a lump sum, you need to explain. If you are into business and some customers paid in money, you need to explain why that money came into your account, why the customers are paid in. So what I'm trying to say is that there should be, you create a letter of explanation of proof of fund. It should be another document that you will upload in that. If you see that video, there's a place I showed you where you can upload documents like other documents. Let it be tagged, titled rather, letter of proof of fund explanation, where you explain in detail everything that came into your proof of fund, how it came in, the lump sums. But if you're fond of having lump sums in your account in the past, it's okay. Okay, but I feel that it's necessary that you explain where those lump sums are coming from. In that way, they will understand. Okay, and also, if you can have a letter, in that letter, also explain, okay, after removing the amount of money that you have in your proof of fund, you need to explain what you're going to do with that money after you've removed your tuition fee and probably your feeding and all of that, what is going to be left. Okay, you need to explain all those things, like, okay, you have 20 million in your account, and after removing that 20 million, I'm using Naira, for instance, as an example. Okay, you have, let's say, let me use Canadian dollars. Okay, you have 20,000 Canadian dollars equivalent in whatever currency you're using. Of course, you know that you're gonna, convert that to Canadian dollars. And then by the time you remove the money for your feeding and other expenses, what is going to be left in that account? You see, they need all these details. Those details are very important. They will help you a lot. So that is it for proof of funds. Okay. Now, the next is if you don't have clear study plan. So study plan is something that you need to explain. In your study plan, you need to explain why are you even coming to Canada to study. I think I might need to make another video on how you can write your study plan. I might want to look into, make our time to do that video, explain to you. But in other words, why waiting for that? You need to understand, what is the study plan? This is more like, what is your whole plan like? What is it like? Okay, why are you coming to Canada? Why not your country? In that plan, you're going to explain why you're coming to Canada. You're going to explain why you're choosing that course that you're choosing. You want to explain why Canada. You want to explain what's the advantage of, coming to study in Canada as against going to US, going to UK, Australia, and other countries. Okay, you want to explain why you left your job to come and study another course. I'm going to give you details, tips on how you can explain all this, possible explanation towards that. If I'm going to be doing another video on writing of study plan. Okay, so they need you to explain, your plans. What are your plans when you're done studying in Canada and you're going back to your home country? What do you want to do? Do you want to establish a new business? Do you want to get another job? What do you want to do with the knowledge you've acquired from Canada? These are the things that they need to know from you. And when you write it properly, you write it like a story. You know, a story that when the officer is reading it will look like they are right in front of you. You're telling your story. This is your story. You're not lying. You own this story. This is your story. You should be able to tell this story properly the way it is, the way it sounds, the way the person that is listening to that will be able to understand. So the next is the type of course. Okay, so you know, some people, so let me say, for instance, you studied biology in your first degree, probably you're going for masters. You study biology in your first degree, and in second degree, you're coming to study what am I even gonna use? Like something that is entirely different from, you know, the one you studied in first degree. The officer is going to start questioning that. Why is this person studied biology, expected to have a course that has a career progression? If you study biology, maybe you want to go and do, you want to go do masters in biology, or postgraduate study in biology, or diploma study in biology. It makes sense. You don't want to, you study biology and then you want to go to, you want to go and study I don't even know which other course to call. You want to go and study mathematics. Like, how does that even rhyme? However, I'm not saying that people don't change their mind. Perhaps you studied biology in first degree and you came out of school and you found out that, okay, you don't have interest in biology. It's okay to take another course, but just be sure that the other course that you're taking is a course that has a career progression. Is a course that, and you'll be able to explain also for the officer. You need to explain to the officer rather that, okay, why you're changing your mind, why you're moving to mathematics. Perhaps you did biology and you came out, you didn't find a job in biology, or there are no opportunities for you as a biologist, and then you started teaching in a school as a mathematics teacher, and you developed interest in mathematics, and now you want to go and study mathematics so that you can have more skill sets and be able to have promotion, or even, you know, be able to start your own school or start your own online mathematics job. And like there are mathematics tutoring or other things. So yeah, you can also move from one career to another career. However, you should be able to explain why you're moving, why you're changing your career. And you want to be sure that the next career that you're going into is a course that has a career progression. Maybe a course that, okay, when you are out, you have a job, you have either you start your own business or either you develop, you know what I mean? Like, you know, something that is fruitful. You know, it's a lot of money coming to study in Canada. And you want to you want to tell the officer you're coming to study and you're studying a course that doesn't even, I'm not saying that there are courses that are not useful. All courses are useful, but I'm sure you want to spend your money on something that is going to be useful for you. Okay, like you're coming out, you're studying a business, you're studying a school, or you know what I mean. So you need to be able to go into a, why choosing a course? Choose a course that you have a passion for, a course that you, with that passion, you're going to go far with it. You're going to develop yourself further with it. You're going to be able to stand the competition, or, you know, and other things. So that's basically about the course. So you need to be sure of the course, because if you're choosing a course that is different, honestly, you're not convincing them enough that you actually come in to study. So it's enough for them to deny you the visa on the basis that, okay, that they're not convinced. They're not convinced. So that is it. So the next is English proficiency. So yeah, I know that some schools, you know, some schools want you to some schools want you to have English, IELTS exam. Some schools do not. And okay, so for schools that want you to have IELTS, they have exemptions, right? They have exemptions for maybe for different countries. I've made a video on that. So when you are applying to any school, you want to check if your country is exempted from providing a proof of English proficiency. However, if you want to go through NSE, Nigerian Student Express, or if you want to go through direct student stream, of course, they need you to provide English. So when you have good English proficiency test, okay, it helps to convince the officer that you're able to read and write. You can read and write, and you will even excel in the course that you're choosing. It also boosts your chance of having the visa approved. Okay, so but remember, when you are not going through NSE or through direct stream, I've already made a video regarding that. I can also link that video to this one so that you watch if you haven't seen that, and how you can go about it. when you are going through that route, it's okay to put your IELTS, because IELTS is required, okay? And when you have good IELTS result, it also boosts your chances of having the visa not rejected, okay? So that is it for English proficiency. And then another one that we want to look at, the last but not the least, is maturity. So now there was a news about a woman who is a more than 80 that went back to school. Canada is not saying because you're you're older, you shouldn't go back to school, and when you put in that application you're going to be rejected. No. If you're a mature student, let's define who is a mature student. A mature student is someone that either you've been more than up to 10 or more than 10 years in the corporate world working, maybe say like 10 years post-graduation. Either you're more than 30, or either you have you have been out of school and have a career gap, either doing business, or you know what I mean, like you've been away from school. So these are mature students, and it doesn't mean that you're a mature student, they're going to deny you visa. But when you are a mature student and you're not able to put in and explain why you've been in the corporate world for 10 years and all of a sudden you want to go back to school to study business administration or whatever you want to study, you need to explain. When you explain that, they're not going to deny you visa, because even if you're 60, even if you're 80, even if you're whatever, you can still go back to school. Nobody is stopping you from going back to school, right? But you should be able to explain that, okay, maybe you were working for the past 10 years, but now you notice that your organization is becoming more competitive and you want to go acquire new skills. It's allowed. Okay, no one is saying that you must be 30, you must be 20, you must be 10 before you go to Canada, before you go to study. Okay, so but what I'm trying to say is that when you are able to address all these points that I've been able to lay in these PowerPoints, you will be fine. Trust me, you will be all right. Because I mean, this is a story. You've been able to tell a story and also create a list of the documents you uploaded. Let them know the documents you uploaded and where you uploaded them, so it makes it easy for you. Okay, so I hope that this video is helpful, and I'm wishing you well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video would help someone out there, and I'm pretty sure that by the time you're following all these ones, you'll be able to have your visa approved. I'm waiting for that good news. Go for it, you got it. I'm rooting for you right